Hello, Africa. This is your greatest season.
My name is Naomi Simadraga.
My name is Melinda Coxon.
Start doing what God told you to do. Those who wait upon the Lord will renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles.
I'm looking forward to being there. This is Africa's time.
Uniting Africa to have one voice, one message, and one mission.
Please go ahead and hashtag Limitless Africa. Spread the news and let the world know this is Africa's time.
That Africa is about to take its place among the continents of the world.
I welcome you to Lusaka, to Lihanga.
I have the pleasure of having the organizer of the conference, Africa Unite, holding in Lusaka, Zambia next year in April, is here with us. And welcome, Reverend Emmanuel.
Thank you so much. It's such an honor to be with you today on this amazing program. Thank you for all the things you're doing. Thank you also for having me.
Listen, I'm excited about this program because for me, at the back of the pandemic, having what I call like a celebration gathering, a prophetic gathering, it's exciting that we're thinking beyond this time we've all been on lockdown. Tell me, just explain to our viewers, what is Africa Unite?
Again, thank you for giving me this opportunity. I listened to you a while ago and you just cited everything to the pandemic and COVID-19. And let me just quickly let you know that Africa Unite conference today actually is born out of, or I would say, was largely inspired as a result of the COVID-19 break. Let me put it like that. I wouldn't say it's the COVID-19 that has inspired the conference, but the break enabled us to be able to conceive the vision of the broadcast. So let me just give you a little bit of a backtrack. During the COVID-19 period, when it started in the month of March, I think it was around April when we began to pray and seek the face of the Lord about COVID-19 and what next He wanted us to do, because everything was actually on a shutdown. And then suddenly I heard the voice of God after praying for about 3 days. The Lord said to me, praying and fasting for about 3 days, the Lord said to me, it's time to bring Africa together. And I wondered, Lord, what are we bringing Africa together for? And the Lord said to me, there's a lot of treasure, there's a lot of beauty in the continent of Africa, and it's time to bring 54 countries of Africa together to be able to pray, using the COVID as a point of contact, but also to pray for the transformation of the continent. So man of God, I went on by faith and contacted a few of the people we knew within the continent, and then bang, everybody got excited, everybody got on board, and everyone was willing to do the Africa Unite over COVID-19 broadcast. So that was for about an hour, 15 minutes or thereabout. We still have a record of that broadcast. We had people from all over Africa, different countries in Africa. We had one representative praying for the continent of Africa using COVID as a point of contact. So again, you're asking me, what is African Unite Conference about? That was actually how African Unite Conference was born. Immediately after that broadcast, which we still have on record, the Lord said to me, it is not over yet. I said, Lord, it took us a lot of logistics to be able to bring people together from all over Africa to pray over COVID-19. And the Lord said it's not yet over. Actually, it was on the morning of the broadcast that the Lord spoke to me that it's not yet over, that you're going to have to bring together the 54 countries of Africa to come together under one roof and pray and strategize and look at the transformation of the continent of Africa. So that is exactly how African Unite Conference was born. Again, we went back to all our friends around the continent and spoke with them, and everyone got very excited. And the rest is history. African Unite Conference, has now come to stay. So that's exactly how the foundation of the conference came about.
Now tell me, why Lusaka, Zambia?
Well, again, I might not be able to exactly explain why we are coming to Lusaka, for the very first conference, but I know that when the Lord had given us the vision for African Unite Conference, I began to imagine, where do we have the first conference? I mean, Africa is beautiful. Every part of Africa is beautiful, and that's the truth. South Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, North Africa, all parts of Africa are beautiful. But we began to say, Lord, we have to have the first conference in a particular nation. So we went on praying, and in a nutshell, the Lord said to us, head to Zambia, and the rest is history. We are coming to Zambia because there has to be a central location, a place where people can easily access, a place where people from around the world can easily find their way. And it's important for us to explain that African Unite Conference is not just for Africa. This is an African conference, but we're opening it to people from around the world. But of course, yes, Lusaka, Zambia, kudos to Lusaka that you're hosting the very first conference, but our vision is to take this conference all around the various parts of Africa. So that's why I think Lusaka, Zambia is hosting the first conference.
Now, listen, tell me, what do you expect to happen to those who come to this conference? We have so many conferences going on all around. I mean, COVID probably slowed down conferences, but it's a usual thing to have one conference after the other. What do you believe is the value that delegates are going to get and countries are going to get from this conference?
Okay, well, you're almost asking me what is the purpose or what is the reason for organizing African Unite Conference. I was on the streets of Lagos, I was actually going on a journey, and the Lord stopped me and spoke to me and said to me, Reinhard Bonnke championed Africa's salvation. I mean, he kept saying, I see a blood-washed Africa from Cape Coast to Cairo and then all over Africa. And indeed, that amazing man of God did a tremendous job with lots of crusades that led to the salvation of people all across Africa. But then the Lord spoke to me very clearly and said to me, it is now time for you to champion Africa's transformation. When that word came, it was so heavy in my heart, and then the Lord said, yes, this is now time to talk about the transformation of Africa. It doesn't mean that we're going to stop the crusades. It doesn't mean that we don't need to talk about people being saved. But the Lord said lots of people have been saved already in Africa. It's now time to talk about the transformation of Africa, technologically, educationally, several aspects. Maybe when we go deeper into the interview, we'll begin to break it down into the content that we're bringing at the African Unite Conference. You rightly said it, there are several conferences going on, but this is a very special conference because this is a conference that is dealing with an entire continent. We are not talking about one particular country, Nigeria or South Africa or Ghana. We're talking about the time for Africa to arise and take its place in destiny. So we want people to come to that conference and receive information that will lead to the transformation of Africa. There are several talents in the continent of Africa, lots of talents, lots of energetic, lots of people all over Africa with lots of skills, lots of ideas. What African Unite Conference is doing is to bring together all these ideas, all these talents, all these treasures, and begin to look at how we're going to bring it together to lead to the transformation of Africa. So people are coming to African Unite Conference to be trained. People are coming to African Unite Conference to receive information and strategy. And this is not just a religious conference. Yes, of course, and we expect lots of Christians, lots of pastors, but we expect people from all over Africa. The Lord spoke to me and said to me, the transformation of Africa is not in the hand of one man or in the hand of one nation or in the hand of one president. It's going to be by a collective responsibility of people from all over Africa. There are things that Nigeria has that Ghana needs. There are things that Ghana has that Nigeria needs, that South Africa needs. So it's about our coming together under one roof to begin to, seek ideas on how to move the continent forward. So that's exactly the goal we have for African Unite Conference.
who are the speakers we are looking forward to? On the website, I see there are lots of speakers. Can you just, maybe you might not be able to cover all of the speakers, but pick out some of the speakers you're looking forward to offer to people at this conference?
Well, again, it's important to mention that this is not about anybody. I remember I had a meeting with a few group of people in Zambia the other day, and I told them this conference is not about me. This conference has nothing to do with me. This is about what God wants to do. It's about God's agenda for the continent. This is the time. I hope we can play the promo of African Unite Conference, and you will hear me say in that promo that Africa, this is your time. So I don't think it's about anybody. I don't think it's about me. Without me, God can still do what He wants to do in the continent of Africa. We're just saying that it is overdue for Africa to go to the next level. It's overdue for Africa to begin to harness its natural resources. It's overdue for churches in Africa to come together to talk about how to move the gospel forward, within the continent of Africa. How to look at our technology, how to look at our young people, how to look at our ideas, how to look at our educational system. You see, so yes, we're going to be having a lot of amazing speakers, that will be speaking at the African Unite Conference, and we have a lot of high-powered speakers, both people who are ministers of the gospel, people in the political scene, people in the educational scene, so maybe when you ask me questions around the content and how the conference is going to be broken down, I'll begin to mention to you the various strategic sections, the various breakout sections that we're going to be having, that will have different speakers. We're even trusting the Lord to bring our, professional sportsmen to encourage young people, to encourage sports people. We're trusting, that people like Chimamanda Adichie in America, the great Nigerian author, can come to this conference. We're trusting the Lord that we can have amazing people. So, if you allow me, I would say we have a group of speakers. I don't really intend to mention names, but we have a group of speakers that people can look at. But the speakers are going to be even much more than what you see on the website, because every day we keep getting new people coming in. We keep getting people say, look, we've heard about African Unite Conference, and we want to be a part of it. So it's a dynamic process.
Very well.
Yes.
You are in the process of the lineup. There's still like 5 months ahead of you, and you are busy lining up speakers. Some have been confirmed, some are still being confirmed. But what you are saying is that it will be a multi-layer, multi-discipline, from all sectors of Africa that will be there. Distinguished guests, well-known names, others that are not so much in the public, but yet who have carry a lot of content. You'll be gathering together quality speakers, quality facilitators. Now, tell us a bit about what the content is. So, walk us through the conference. So, what are the breakout sessions? What are some topics you are hoping to see handled? You mentioned sports leaders. You mentioned literature leaders. What kind of things are you having businessmen coming together for strategic meetings? Just walk us through this conference so I get there. What are the offerings that are there?
Okay, before I even do that, let me just quickly mention the fact as well that, like I said, this is a conference for the continent of Africa. But the Lord have also spoken to us that we need to get all the continents of the world to become a part of this. So what are we going to do about that? Now, what we are doing is that we are getting one speaker each from the other non-African continents. So we have someone who will represent North America, someone who will represent Asia, someone who will represent Australia. We already have all that planned out. It's amazing what God wants to do with this conference, and we're just excited because every single day God is just giving us new ideas and new ways to do what we have planned to do. So we're going to be having speakers also from other parts of the world joining us, just to bring in their own perspective as to what they think that will be able to move Africa forward. let's not, sound what is it? I don't know if to call it tribalistic. This is not like thinking that it's just Africa. No, we still need the Chinese. We still need the Indians. We still need the Americans. We still need the Europeans. All we are saying is that we can learn from them and transform Africa. It's only Africa that can solve Africa's problems, and it's important for us to know that. Other continents and other countries are not going to come to solve your problems for you. They can only offer you ideas and suggestions. So that's what we're doing in the African Unite Conference. So if you begin to ask me about the various breakout sections, I'll just quickly point out very keenly that I don't know if you've heard about the 7 mountain mandate, which has to do with entrepreneurship, which has to do with the family, which has to do with sports, education, the media, fashion, politics. There's 7 mountains. So we have built the content around this 7 major mountain mandates. And what we're doing is, take for instance the entrepreneurship side of things. We have developed what we've called the African Business Concept. The ABC is huge. That on its own is huge. It's the African Business Concept. Our idea is that we want to bring together entrepreneurs from all over Africa, small, medium, and large. The Dangotes. The Dangotes should come and teach other younger African entrepreneurs what they need to do to be able to succeed, in the entrepreneurial sphere. And it's at the end of the day begins to impact on the economy of Africa. I'm really hoping we can get a lot of people to sign up for ABC, and it's not difficult. What we want is entrepreneurs across Africa to come together, share their ideas. You've got an amazing idea, you're in South Africa, and you need someone you want to get information in Nigeria about the opportunities for your idea. You can simply contact the person, and we're making sure that all entrepreneurs that are signed up for ABC are reputable people. We would make sure that we scrutinize it to see that we know what you're doing, we have recommendations about you and things like that. But at the end of the day, what we want to achieve is to bring together business people. We also want to provide them with business training. We want to also look at how can we develop funding for this. So there are lots of things that we want to do with the African Unite Conference, and that's just at the business side of things. So let me just quickly mention that as an entrepreneur, if you want to be a part of the ABC, all you need to do is to contact us, and we would have your information on the Africa Unite Conference website. I'm sure you've been looking at it on the screen. It's africaisone.org. We'll put your details on the website, and people can see what you're doing. There will be a click to your website. There's a special video that you've done. People can be able to see your video, look at your products, look at your ideas. What we are saying is that it is time for us to also begin to patronize and support and encourage African entrepreneurs. So that's in the on the entrepreneurial side of things. We also have the religious side, where we want to bring together churches and believers and Christians to look at the consolidation, of Africa's religious faith. So what that means is that it's time for churches to come together. So we also look at the educational side of things. What's the quality of education in Africa? But if you allow me to say this, we also have a vision around building a particular school that will be called the African School. No, that's not the name, but it will be a school where we want to have at least 1 or 2 persons from the various countries of Africa come together to learn under one roof in one school. All expense paid for. We have young people come together, and their goal is not just to learn mathematics and English and all that. Their goal is, while they learn all these basic subjects, they also begin to look at the transformation of Africa. These are young minds coming together under one roof. We choose a particular country. It can be Republic of Benin, it can be Nigeria, it can be South Africa, where we want to build. So that's the educational side of things. We also have a plan around the media, where we are also trusting the Lord. TBN has done so well. Faith Broadcasting Network has done so well. most of the satellite stations have done so well, but we are saying that it's also time for us to, consolidate on all this effort. So can't we have a central network for the African continent, where we're going to have amazing content showcasing, the beauty of Africa? I mean, we have journalists all over Africa coming together. So it's actually a lot of vision. That's why I'm saying this is not just another conference on the road or across board. This is a very, very special conference where there's just so much content that will be coming out. It's going to be for 3 days. We're coming on Thursday, the 29th of April, and we leave on the 1st of May 2021. But by the time you're leaving that conference, you will be leaving with so much information. You will be leaving fired up. You'll be leaving upgraded. There will be so much inside of you that you cannot wait to fly back to your country to begin to implement some of the things that you're going to learn from this conference. There will be amazing speakers. I'm also going to be joining the speakers, and we're going to be bringing together a lot of things. Like I said, it's not about anyone. It's about what God wants to do for the continent of Africa.
That sounds really great. There's a book that is going along with this conference, Africa Unite, and it sounds, from what I've heard you say, an exciting project, something you feel people are going to get a lot of value from. Tell us a little bit about this.
The brand new book that we're writing for the continent is going to be our gift to the continent of Africa. It's like you said, there are lots of conferences going on out there, and 3 days is definitely not going to be enough for us to do justice to all we feel that God is saying for the continent of Africa, and how we need to position ourselves and strategize to be able to move Africa, forward, transform Africa. So, the Lord gave me a vision to write a whole book for the continent of Africa. Guess what the title of the book is? The title is The Light Continent, and I'm sure it's now showing on your screen. You can see the front cover of the book showing on your screen. I'm sure you've heard about that narrative that keeps talking about the fact that Africa, it's a dark continent, and we're saying that has changed. Africa is no longer a dark continent. People think that they are still like chimpanzees. What is it? I don't know how they think that monkeys run around the streets of Abuja or run around the streets of Johannesburg, and that's not the truth. People who have come from probably Europe, Asia, America to Africa, they get amazed at the development that has taken place in Africa. So what we're saying that it's time to showcase this thing to the rest of the world, showcase this thing to investors, showcase these things to people who want to even come and live in Africa. You see a lot of Africans wanting to travel out of Africa to go and live in Europe and America, but I know there are people also from all over the world who want to come and live in Africa. So the title of this book is The Light Continent, and I'm sure it's showing on your screen. The front cover is showing on your screen right now. What we are saying is Africa is no longer a dark continent. Africa is now the light continent. It's not just enough for us to change that narrative or to begin to talk about the fact that Africa is the light continent. How are we going to be able to achieve that? So the process is ongoing, but we're not there yet. There's still a lot of things to do. So we want people to be able to order for the book The Light Continent right away. You can order it right away. Yes, we're going to be presenting it officially. I mean, we're trying to speak to a couple of the African presidents, and this is my word for the African presidents. Wherever you are all over the continent, we want you to come and be a part of the African Unite Conference, because we cannot do this conference without involving the 54 presidents or heads of states in Africa. So we're trying to get one of them to be able to also present the book The Light Continent at the African Unite Conference. So man of God, the content of this book is mind-boggling. I mean, we talked about the fact that it's time for Africa to become one. We also looked at the leadership problems around Africa. We also looked at the economic power, how we're going to be able to use our natural resources judiciously to develop Africa. There's no reason why most parts of Africa should not look like Dubai or look like America, look like anywhere in the world. I mean, Nigeria is probably the 7th largest oil producing nation in the world. So there's no reason why Nigeria should not look like a first world nation. Again, the book also talked about the fact that it's time to begin to promote African products. So there's a title of the book that talks about Proudly Africa. I mean, I've been to South Africa. I even studied in South Africa, and you would always hear the slogan Proudly South African. So we are saying it's time to now begin to say Proudly African, and then begin to promote businesses and products also from Africa. We also looked at honoring our heroes. Africa has a lot of heroes, and it's time for us to begin to honor them. If you look at the Africa Unite promo, we want Africa to begin to honor its heroes. Let's not criticize. Let's learn to honor and respect our heroes, our sportsmen. Even after they are out of their heydays, let's still honor them. Let's still support them. Let's make sure that they don't just go unrewarded. Again, maybe lastly about the book, we also talked about African women and children. There's a lot of culture in Africa that looks down on women, but we're saying that a time has come for that to come to an end. Women are very precious. Women are very important. Women are very strategic to Africa's transformation. So there should not be any limitation placed on women. Women are very important. Without women, we would not be here today. So let's honor our women. Let's also protect our children. And then maybe lastly, I'll throw in one more thing on peace and security. Peace and security. It's time for Africa to begin to pursue peace at all costs. You don't know the value of peace until you lose it. So right across Africa, let's begin to trust the Lord that peace will become our biggest slogan, where we're trusting that people from all over the world can come to Africa and remain safe. And that's the only way we can begin to talk about the transformation and the advancement of Africa. This book is very, very precious in our heart. Aside from all that the Lord will do at the African Unite Conference, the contents that will be coming out there, we want people to begin to author this book, and we want people to come to the conference and look forward to getting this book. It's going to be online. It's also going to be available on hard copies. So that's about the book on the Light Continent, and we're looking forward to ensuring that this goes all across Africa. A final thing is that this book is also going to be available not just in English. We're going to have the Swahili, we're going to have the French edition. We're going to have all kinds of languages across Africa that these books will be translated into.
Sounds great. Sounds really exciting. Tell me, what is your last word to our viewers as we anticipate with a lot of expectation the Africa Unite Conference coming up next year? So it's April the 29th to the 1st of May 2021 in Lusaka, Zambia. Now, what's your last word as we start to wrap this up?
Well, everybody all over Africa, it's time for us to put our hands together. Like I said earlier on in this amazing broadcast, I said the solution to Africa's problems, or the solution to Africa's transformation, is not in the hand of one man. It's in our collective responsibility. Leaders all over Africa, it's time for us to come together. Let's bring together our ideas. There are lots of our Africans who are in the diaspora. We are not also going to be leaving them behind. We're going to carry them. You probably don't need to move away from where you are, but from where you are, you can begin to do things that will move Africa forward. You can begin to bring in your own ideas, your content, your product, things that you have seen across Africa. You can bring it into Africa. You can set up businesses, credible businesses. You can set up things that will be able to transform this continent, provide jobs for people, and then turn this continent into a continent that will actually be regarded as the Light Continent. So my last word would be, people should be a part of Africa Unite Conference. Go on the website www.africaisone.org and register. And don't just stay back in your country. Come to Lusaka, Zambia, and be a part of Africa Unite Conference. Like I said, this conference is not about anybody. This conference is not about me. I mean, without me, the African Unite Conference we hold. We have an amazing team of people all across Africa, in Zambia, in Nigeria, in Ghana, in South Africa, in Ivory Coast, all over the 54 countries of Africa, who can run this conference with or without me. But we're saying that we also need your support. No matter where you are from around the world, if you want to partner with African Unite Conference, I am inviting you to partner. This is one major conference that I believe that every investment into this conference will not go unrewarded. So I'm looking forward to hearing from many of you who would like to be a part of African Unite Conference. But again, thank you so much for having me. It's important we also mention that you are also playing an active role at the organizing of African Unite Conference. You're also part of this. You're giving us ideas. You are championing things a lot also in the media. You've done so well, with the media. And it's important for us to mention that you're also part of the African Unite Conference, and we're so proud of you. We're proud of what you're doing. We want to also say thank you to TBN. We want to say thank you to Faith Broadcasting Network and all the networks that are carrying this broadcast. We pray that the Lord will increase you, expand you, and help you to meet your heart desires. Thank you very much for having me, and I've thoroughly enjoyed myself, and I've had fun talking to you today in this broadcast. Hello, Africa. This is your greatest season.
My name is Naomi Sinadrega.
My name is Melinda Coxon.
Start doing what God's told you to do. Those who wait upon the Lord will renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles.
Looking forward to being there. This is Africa's time.
Uniting Africa to have one voice, one message, and one mission.
Please go ahead and hashtag Limitless Africa. Spread the news and let the world know this is Africa's time.
That Africa is about to take its place among the continents of the world.
I welcome you to Lucera, to the